Welcome to Jilly Miggly Go.
In a small village nestled amongst the rolling hills, lived a kind and hard-working shoemaker named Hans. He worked tirelessly day and night, crafting sturdy boots and elegant slippers for the villagers. Despite his diligence, Hans was poor. His small workshop was filled with scraps of leather and unfinished shoes, but his heart remained light. He believed that honest work and kindness would eventually bring him good fortune. One evening, exhausted from a long day of labor, Hans closed his workshop and prepared for bed. He had one pair of shoes left unfinished, a pair of delicate slippers for a young lady's wedding. He sighed, knowing he wouldn't be able to complete them before the morning. Alas, he lamented, if only I could finish these slippers. He placed the unfinished shoes on his workbench and went to sleep, his mind filled with worry. The next morning, Hans awoke to a wondrous sight. The unfinished slippers were complete. They were more beautifully crafted than anything he had ever made, adorned with intricate silver buckles and delicate stitching. Astonished, Hans could only stare at the masterpiece before him. The news of the miraculously finished slippers spread through the village like wildfire. People were amazed and curious. Hans, however, remained humble. He accepted the praise graciously but confessed that he did not know how the slippers were finished. That night, Hans and his wife decided to stay awake and observe. As midnight approached, they heard a faint tinkling sound. Peeking through a crack in the wall, they witnessed an astonishing sight. Two tiny creatures, no bigger than his thumb, with wings like shimmering leaves, flitted into the workshop. They worked with incredible speed and dexterity, stitching leather, hammering nails, and polishing the shoes until they gleamed. When the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, the tiny creatures vanished as quickly as they had appeared. Hans and his wife were speechless. They knew they had encountered the elves, mythical creatures known for their kindness and their love for craftsmanship. News of the elves' generosity spread throughout the land. People from far and wide brought Hans their worn-out shoes for repair. Hans, overwhelmed by the influx of work, was no longer poor. He used his newfound wealth to help those in need, always remembering the kindness of the elves. Moral of the story: kindness and generosity have a way of returning to us in unexpected ways. Even the smallest acts of kindness can have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of others.